the world fighting on opposite sides in World War II. Herself, born completely deaf, but able to lip read from a young age. Alice was a princess, but her life was more of a fight than a fairy tale. This is the story of how a British princess born in Windsor Castle found her final resting place in Jerusalem.
Alice was Queen Victoria's great-granddaughter. She met her husband, Prince Andrew, in 1902. They got married and lived early on in Greece.
Alice and Andrew had 5 children in Greece. Their only son, Philip, would later marry Queen Elizabeth. In 1917, the family was exiled for the first time.
The First World War changed everything, and because of that, she was exiled from Greece several times, back and forth. She had a breakdown in 1930. She was separated from her family. Everything suggested that would be the end of her life.
During those tumultuous years, Alice became more and more religious. She saw her Russian family killed, spent years in a sanatorium, was abandoned by her husband, and had her children separated from her.
It's rumoured Prince Philip was taken out in a box and saved.
Alice was alone again and quite poor for a while. Eventually, she returned to Greece, and when the Second World War started, the princess decided to share what little she had with those in need. One Jewish family in particular touched her heart.
The Cohen family came to the door when the Nazis occupied Athens, because then they were hunting down all the Jews to deport them and send them to concentration camp. This was really a matter of life or death, and so she, Mrs. Cohen, and her daughter and later her son took shelter with her, and she looked after them for the whole duration of the war.
Alice used her deafness and pretended not to understand the Nazi officers whenever they knocked on her door, saving the Cohen family. After the war, Alice founded her own sisterhood of nuns and built an orphanage. In 1969, reunited again with her son Philip, she passed away.
We are in the crypt of Princess Alice of Battenberg. Originally, she was buried in England, and she was brought here in the late 80s.
Princess Alice never visited the Holy Land. But in 1993, she was honored as a righteous among the nations for her actions during the Holocaust. In 1994, Prince Philip quietly visited his mother's grave in Jerusalem, and in 2016, her grandson, Prince Charles, also stopped by. And this year, on the first official visit of the royal family to Israel, her great-grandson, Prince William, is visiting her grave and part of his family history.
It's just quite astonishing to think that somebody so close to the British royal family it has this strong connection, being a righteous Gentile saving Jews. And when she died, she had expressed a wish to be buried here in Jerusalem.
Finally, as Alice was laid to rest in Jerusalem, the princess got her happily ever after. Bianca Zanini,